This is one of the common questions which is asked by most of the non-Java big data IT professionals about their current technologies and the future of it. I mean, this does not only impact the ETL technologies as such, but any other technologies apart from Java, right? Now, especially when it comes to the ETL or the data warehouse world, the future would be better than ever since big data would help increase the requirements for better processing of data, and the existing tools are already coming up with the options to incorporate the big data features within them, right? Now, especially tools like Informatica are more evolved in terms of designing ETL, creating workflows, or addressing the complex business validations or rules, right? Now, if you see big data tools like Pig or Hive, they're more like programming scripts, right? Over time, these tools would also get a UI or a graphical user interface like Informatica or any other tool. But that is still a bit far away. So at this point, the ETL tools are better for designing and coding ETL, right? And if you look at it, the current tools are so embedded into the system in majority of the corporate implementations, right? And it is not easy for them to convert that from existing tools to a new one, right? Because they have to set up a parallel environment, they have to come up with a different budget for it, and that's not a easy one to do, right? The other aspect of this debate is that big data tools are for big data and ETL tools are more efficient on traditional data warehousing. It means that big data can be used for this machine learning, the sensor activity, the systems where it will generate multiple bytes of data, unlike a traditional data warehouse where you get files on a batch mode or on a real-time method, right? Now, of course, technically speaking, you can use both, either big data tools or the ETL tools which are currently available in both situations. But for example, if you try to use Informatica on top of Hadoop, it would slow down the entire process as Informatica is sitting on another box, but not on the HDFS file system or the Hadoop distribution file system, right? And if you try to use big data tools for traditional ETL, then you'd need to do a lot of manual stuff. Need to have programmers who can code each ETL task, which is easily done using an interface, into a programming language or a line. And every time you need to do the regression testing where there is a new version of big data tools, right? So there is no such thing as backward compatibility within this open source tools. Now, what is backward compatibility? Backward compatibility is something that it'll match to the previous versions. For example, if you have a code in Informatica 7, and if you enable the backward compatibility in Informatica 10, it will consider the Informatica 7's code also as Informatica 10. Now that feature is lacking in the big data programming tools. Maybe that is in the phase of being implemented and that will come up in the future, but right now it is not there, right? Now, to the extent I see it, and to the extent I've spoken to multiple people and the conferences which I've attended on big data, in the coming 5 to 10 years, there will be a lot of changes to what we know as big data now and what we know as ETL tools now. And all the ETL tools will incorporate all the features wherever possible of big data and use the HDFS structure, right? So to the existing system as is, to the existing setup, which is there from quite some years, that will stay as is for at least the coming 5 years. And all these tools would remain there, and open source tools would ultimately be merged with the commercial counterparts, leveraging all the options of the open source. And you would also see the same story getting repeated again and again in the BI space. Now it's big data, right? Let's say after 5 years or 10 years, there is some other technology which would make the big data as small, or it would have better features than what big data can give us now, right? So all of these tools, I mean, commercially, if you look at it, if these tools have to survive, they have to incorporate all the features possible, and they're already doing it, right? They're already releasing their BDEs, which is big data editions, right? Leveraging all possible options or features which big data can leverage within their tools. Now, I as a company, if I have to think about paying the additional license key to the existing tool, or think about setting up a whole different team, whole different technology stack separately and run it parallelly for the next 6 months, and then analyze if the business says, okay, go on to it, then I'll have to think about the cost specific things, isn't it? And post that, what is the support? For example, if I take Informatica license now, the corporate license, I get the assurance from Informatica team that, okay, any issues, our IT team is there for 24/7 and we will help you. If required, we'll come to your site, sit with you, fix the issue, and get the system going. Now, for these open source tools, that is difficult, right? All you have to leverage is the forums available and the developers can come in. So I'm not saying there is no help, there is help, but it is not as committed as these commercial applications or commercial tools are giving to you or giving to the business. So, whatever is the case and whatever is the technology, we need testing to be done, right? If you specifically talk about ETL testing's future, either it is big data, either it is Informatica, Data Stage, Ab initio, Talent, Pentaho, whatever ETL tool it is, testing is required. Even if they leverage the big data additions or not, it still requires testing. So we need testing to be done for the different ways of data extraction, the transformation, the reporting, the analytics. So I don't see any issues with this field or with the future of ETL testing, at least for the next 10 years, until unless there is some revolutionary tool which does the testing automatically all by itself without any manual intervention, right? So let's get started in learning the different things which you need to know or which you need to get started as ETL testing professional. All the best.